What up, what up, what up, what up? Something that bothers the shit out of me is no matter how many times anyone, any celebrity, any famous person, rich person, wealthy person, however you want to look at it, that type of successful, at one point in time, always says, yeah, I got the money, I got all the fancy cars, all the cool clothes, nothing's changed. But yet, there's a fucking industry that is thriving off of low self-esteem, fear, anxiety, many fucking things, programming and all that, to make people think that they want everyone to know them, and I don't know, it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me, man. Like, look at your life right now, and legitimately, I mean, if you want to, you don't have to, but count all the people that know you, not necessarily you're friends with, but count them too. But think about all the people who you pass at work, or if you're in customer service, how many of those people value you and look at you, but not necessarily like follow every moment of your life, but y'all know each other. I mean, we're all a little bit famous if you think about it, The difference between Hollywood's fame and just regular fame, if you want to call it that, I just call it being connected with other people, is that there's a certain like threshold that you gotta break to be considered famous and wealthy, or just famous, period. When everybody in our daily lives, unless you literally don't come out your room and you have no friends and you don't talk to nobody, okay, then that's a different story. But we're all known, whether we like it or not. If we're a part of this society, it's just that's what happens. And I don't know the disconnect between like being known on the internet is going to change anything. I mean, think about it. I mean, if I got famous today and everybody and their mother knew me, I wouldn't be able to work because I'd be constantly badgered or bothered, not necessarily bothered, but just everyone would come into the store, and most of the time it wouldn't be because they want to buy something, it's because they know that I work there, and you got to tread the water lightly when you're on social media, because you got to watch what you say, because in a split second people could just say, nope, not messing with you, see ya, and unsubscribe, so to speak, or not pay attention to. And who wants that? I mean, who legitimately wants everybody and their mother to know them and know what they're doing and know what they're saying and follow them every waking moment of their life? Why would you want to have a camera in front of you 24/7? I mean, I get it. The positive side is, you feel a little bit more important because you're doing things, and you're always busy, and you're constantly interacting with other people, doing business, whatever you want to call it. But when you look at it, you don't get a second to yourself, unless you're. I mean, you might get a second, but not like you used to, because you can't do anything without media or other people videotaping you and asking you this and asking you that. Like, I just don't get how people think that that's going to be fun, like, at all. I think people just literally hear fame, they think money and positivity, and just run with it, instead of legitimately thinking about, hey, if I got famous today and did this and I had to do this, and I got involved with all this, would my life really be that better? Really sit there, daydream, and live that dream for a second. Think about all the things that you want to do and all the other shit. And then come back to reality and be like, is that really worth it? Do I really want to do that? Most of them are going to say no. Unless you're, like I said, depressed, low self-esteem. I don't know. It could be anything. You could just be in a negative space. And you're like, fuck it. I don't care. I just want to be happy. And that right there gets you in trouble. Because you'll jump right into something not thinking of the consequences or weighing out the pros and cons, and you'll get yourself somewhere you don't want to belong. And I've done that before, Granted, like, don't get me wrong, like, the whole nature boy shit, yeah, it's fucked up and everything like that, but I got myself involved in something because I was getting a lot of reactions from people, and this goes for everyone, not just with Nature Boy, but if you're what is it? If you're I don't know, talking about or covering certain things in the world that have no meaning to them outside of like as that thing, then you're literally feeding off of nothing or something negative, however you want to look at it, because it's not doing anything for anybody. All you're doing is making filler, so to speak. Now if you're able to cover that, but flip it and tell people what's really happening, or tell the truth about whatever you're doing, or whatever the case is, then good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing the right thing. And at this point in time, in this world, and this part of reality, and the time that we're in, or the time that they're making us think we're in, you shouldn't be doing anything other than speaking about the truth and speaking about what's going on, whether it be, on that fringe shit, or if it's political. Everyone's on a different level. Everyone needs to speak, because everyone needs that little stepping stone to get to the next level, so to speak. Because, I mean, think about it. If you're, I don't want to call anybody specific. Well, I'm not calling anybody specific out, but I don't want to call, like, any specific thing that people cover. I don't know. It could be shoes. It could be, mindless rap music. It could be, I don't fucking know. Whatever. Something that really, unless you're flipping it around and making it something positive, you're doing nothing. You're literally creating filler, and even though you might be a good person, whatever the case is, you're still feeding into the narrative and what they want you to do without them even doing anything to you. That's what they mean when, some people will willingly protect the system and won't even understand that they're doing it unless they come to an understanding. And we need people to come to an understanding, because whether we have all the time in the world or we're very, very short on time, you know, who knows? I feel that we're short on time, but nevertheless, it's never stopped us from doing anything we wanted to do, and we're going to do it, you know? I just think that people need to step back, look at what they're doing, and this is anybody, not just people on YouTube, and just be like, yo, am I bringing anything to the plate, man? Like, because I always wonder why the fuck I'm here. I always be like, yo, like, why am I even here, man? Like, what's the point of this shit? I don't get it, you know? I don't understand why I'm here. I don't know. I want to know my purpose. That's it. And some days I'm like, you know what? I'm right where I need to be. And then some days I'm like, nah, I'm definitely not in the right place. But, you know, it's always different every single day. And I guess the point of it is that, you know, we all need to change and stop doing the same thing. And learn from each other and understand that we have got to make a change. And we've got to talk about this shit. Because if we don't, nothing's going to happen. But it is what it is. Sorry, fucking people staring at me. But yeah, I guess that's it. Kind of lost track of where I was going with this, but nevertheless I went with it, because usually I always tell myself, no, just fucking turn your camera off, delete it, because it's not worth it. Nobody wants to listen, and you're really not saying anything, you know? That's the shit that I battle all fucking day, because for whatever reason. But I know that when I do put stuff like this out, it might reach that one fucking person, or those two people, or whatever, and be like, yo, I needed that. And not only makes me feel good, or them feel good, but in return it makes me feel good at the same time. That's how it's supposed to work, you know? When you do shit like that. Why would you want to put bullshit out to piss people off, or make people feel negative? There's no reason for it. But everyone have a wonderful day. I will make another video soon, I hope.